there! In today's video, I'm going to walk you through 3 different ways to start an LLC in Ohio. But more importantly, I'm going to share crucial information that's going to help keep your new business safe and protected. So if you're not familiar with terms such as commingling funds, piercing the corporate veil, or registered agent, don't worry because I will go over them. But these terms are really important, and you're going to understand how they impact your LLC by the end of this video. The first way to start your Ohio LLC is to go to the Ohio Secretary of State website. You can find the link for the state site and any resources mentioned in the description below. Once you create an account, you can go through the steps here to get your LLC set up. And as you'd expect, the state website is not the prettiest or the easiest thing to navigate. But there are no fees involved except for the $99 state filing fee as of 2022, and there is just no way around that fee. You're gonna have to pay it whether you go direct through the state or an online legal tool or through an attorney. The pros of using the state site are that there are no markups or upsells. The downside is that it's not laid out well for making the registration process easy. In fact, it's more confusing than it really needs to be. One of the other downsides of the state site is that they do not help you keep your LLC compliant because the site lacks the ability to remind you of important updates and renewal reminders. I'll explain this further, but first, let's talk about what an LLC actually is so that you understand how to maintain it properly. Some people think that there's this tax advantage to having an LLC over a sole proprietorship, but that's actually not true. The advantage of an LLC is the name itself. It's there to help limit your liability. So imagine your business and all your assets. So this could be the office, the computers, the business bank accounts, etc. So on a personal side, you might have a home, a vehicle, a personal bank account. What an LLC does is it draws a line of division between those two asset classes. And that division is something called the corporate veil. So if somebody sues your business, they can try to come after your business assets, but the LLC and the corporate veil are going to protect your personal assets so that they cannot come after your home or your personal bank account. That is why an LLC is so important. Now, earlier I mentioned something called piercing the corporate veil. What this legal jargon means is if your business is sued, the attorney is going to do all that they can to find cracks in the LLC. If they can find a crack, then they can pierce the corporate veil. And when this happens, they can come after your business and personal assets. So that is why it is so important to not only set up an LLC, but to maintain it so that there are no cracks. Now I'd like to explain why the state site is not so great for maintaining your LLC. And I'm going to give you 3 examples. A great service for setting up your LLC is a company called InkFile, which is an online legal tool. You'll find a link in the description below that will take you to their site. And we really appreciate when you use that link because it helps support our YouTube channel. Now the reason I like InkFile is that they have packages starting at $0 plus the state fee. So it's that same $99 state fee, but the package fee starts at $0. And one of the perks of this package is that you get a free registered agent service for a year. And this is the first reason why I prefer this site over the state site. So now let's just dive into what a registered agent is. Every LLC is required to have a registered agent, which is sometimes called a resident agent, statutory agent, or agent for service of process. The registered agent must have a physical address in the state your LLC is set up. And this person helps you with important communication and documentation, such as franchise tax forms, notices of litigation, tax and legal correspondence, and required annual report forms. Basically, the registered agent helps you keep your LLC in compliance. Now, if you go through the state website, they just ask for the name and the address of your registered agent without much context. If you go through InkFile, that service is free for the year, and then it's $119 annually after that, and you're free to change or drop the registered agent service at any time. Now, another reason I like InkFile is that the state website does not help you with the federal aspects of your business. So here's a good example of this. Your LLC is set up through your state, but an EIN business tax number is set up through the IRS. And you can think of the EIN as a social security number used to identify your business for tax purposes. So when you get set up through the state website, they do not help you with setting up an EIN number. And it's actually pretty confusing if you've never done it before. In the middle tier package, InkFile will set up your EIN for you. I'll also include a link in the description below if you just want to set up your EIN by yourself on the IRS website. Now, I also want to highlight that they will set you up with a business bank account. And this is really important to do this from the beginning, and here's why. So not only does it make bookkeeping and accounting for your business just that much easier, but you should know that if you run your business through your personal checking account, you are commingling funds. And that's because you have personal cash flow, you have business cash flow. And when you have that happening in the same account, that can create a crack in your LLC, and that could lead to an attorney piercing the corporate veil and coming after your business and personal assets. So InkFile takes these things into consideration, where the state site just sets up your LLC. The nice thing with InkFile is that your dashboard helps not only set up your LLC, but to maintain it and keep it compliant with annual reports that need to be filed as well. Now, the last thing I want to discuss is if you should hire an attorney. Most people are fine just going through the state site or an online tool to get started. But if you have a really complex business with multiple partners, or you're going to be doing business in an area out of the state, you might want to consider an attorney. Another thing to consider is if you're already doing business and you're making over $40,000 net income, you may want to consider an S-Corp. Many times businesses will start out as an LLC, but as revenues grow, they switch to an S-Corp for the added tax advantages. In the description below, I'll have a list of resources for you, including a good attorney service that offers free consults if you're already making a good income in your business and you have a complex situation. On the screen here, you will see a video that goes further into the InkFile dashboard and what it looks like after purchase. Again, thank you for using the links in the description below, and I'll catch you on the next video.